You're listening to Counterclockwise, where we decide the best of unimportant categories. How are you over there today, sir?
I don't hate a lot of things in this world. Like, because hate's a pretty strong word, right?
Yeah?
One thing I absolutely loathe is lawn care.
I thought you were going to say laundry, and that's pretty high up my list, too.
You know, I don't like laundry either, but, like, it's fine.
Lawn care is pretty terrible.
I don't understand people that love mowing the lawn.
People that love mowing the lawn don't have to push mow their lawn.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah. Or they have really flat lawns.
Every year it's the same with me. I wait forever to mow my lawn for the first time just because I just push it off.
It'll be fine.
This is quite literally the worst I've ever had it.
Yeah, it's the worst I've seen it here.
I could not mow in a straight line. I had to mow little chunks back and forth to get it done. And what normally takes me 10 or 15 minutes to do, it took me 45 minutes to do. To an hour.
Oh, man.
And then when
it normally takes you 10 minutes to mow?
Maybe a little long. Maybe like 20 minutes, but like...
Yeah. It is a pretty small, and it's basically a rectangle, so it's pretty simple, I guess.
Yeah. And
mine's annoying because I got a bunch of different parts I got to do.
Yeah, man, I just can't seem to give a single shit about lawn care. Like, I just can't stand it. And I feel like even if I had a rider, I just still would. Because, I mean, we've at our old job, we used to do it, and I hated it then. Like, and maybe that was because we were working and not doing it on our free time, but whatever.
Yeah.
But I never thought I'd say my hair and my lawn have one thing in common, and that they were both long overdue for a cut. That's not a sentence I thought I was going to say ever.
Yeah, no. I think you probably cut more off of the lawn than you did when you got your hair cut.
Probably, dude. My grass was almost up to my knees. I felt so bad I felt so bad for my dogs.
You were harvesting wheat at that point.
I really was, because it was flowering.
Yeah.
The grass had buds. I would let the dogs out, and I swear to God, it was like the opening scene of Little House on the Prairie. When they're running through the prairie.
Running through the field, yeah.
That's what it was like. That's what Sasha would do.
You got your amber waves of grain out there in the backyard.
Because, Kita doesn't give a shit. She's just like, whatever. But Sasha's like, this is long, pokey grass, so I got to hop everywhere. So she's just hopping through this, like, through my lawn, and it's like... And I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
Just...
Oh, that's funny.
But, yeah, no, I hate it so much. And I wish I had turf.
Oh, I know. I don't remember where we were, but there was somebody had like that. It's like that grass rug almost, basically, where you just like roll it out. I don't know, whatever they use it for. But there was some of that somewhere recently, and I was like, man, I wish I could just replace my lawn with this stuff. Like, I don't even care if it looks good. It's just make it green. I don't care.
If I got turf instead of grass, I would go full Boise. I'm going full blue turf. Or Eastern Washington, go the red. Yeah. Just go full red.
Yeah. I think I'd rather do red than blue. The blue hurts my eyes for some reason.
Really?
I don't know. I look at that, it's like, yeah, I feel like I would be uncomfortable playing on that bright blue turf.
I think black would be cool, but that would get really hot.
Yeah, it really would.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else would just get dirty.
Yeah.
If you get like a light color, it'd be pretty dirty.
Because I know with turf, you still have to take care of it because you got to like sweep it. But like, I would much rather just...
Got to rake the little black pellets.
I would much rather just like sweep my lawn than mow it.
Yeah. I don't know what do you do for turf? Like, what is the process like? I know you have to. There's maintenance on it. Do you have to do like a regular thing?
I think it's just.
Do you clean it, or does it just like get cleaned by the rain?
Well, I'm sure like rocks and stones get on it eventually. Like you know, like
you just like
or like leaves or whatever. You just kind of
like sweep it like a carpet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Instead
I can get behind that.
Yeah, wouldn't that be kind of cool?
That's pretty simple. You don't have to go row by row up and down the thing. The worst thing with mine is I have the most uneven lawn in America.
I don't know. Mine might be a close second.
I have spots in my lawn where I can literally. I've done this. I've had somebody standing at a distance, and I say, "Watch this," and I'll step like 6 inches away, and I will drop 6 inches downward because there's just a dip in the grass and then a high point right next to it, and I have to mow that. And there's like this ridge. It almost looks like somebody made a model of the Grand Canyon in my backyard and then planted grass on top of it. There's like this ridge. Like there was a small earthquake there at one point, and then it kind of weathered away and softened a little bit, but there's still the remnants of it.
Yeah.
That's what's in the middle, right smack in the middle of my lawn.
Oh yeah, does your lawn have a 2x2 piece of plywood sitting in it for like the last 4 years? Didn't think so.
Well, whose fault is that?
I didn't say it wasn't my fault.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's a forearm workout and a shoulders workout mowing the lawn, and I try to go fast and then I'm exhausted because I don't want to be out there. So I'm like, I'm going to just push through it, and then I'm mowing like this. You can't see me, listeners out there, but you can imagine what I'm doing.
Well, you don't have an auto. You don't have
the powered one, the drive. No, I don't.
Self-drive.
No, is that what you have?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
That would make it a little.
It makes it easier,
yeah.
but it's still just like I'm. Like,
I mean, it's still rough, so you still got to go over.
Well, and I'm still just like still walking. I don't want to be walking behind you, and then when it just.
Yeah.
It's too small to have a push mower or a rider, and
and you still got the front yard.
Yeah.
And you could go out there, but you also got like a hill up there, and it's just there's no real easy way to do it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
whoever decided it was enjoyable to do lawn care, straight to jail. Just right to jail.
Yeah. I think it was invented by like dads who don't want to spend time with their kids. I will make any excuse to not have to sit inside and talk to my kid about gym class or whatever he wants to talk about.
That would explain why dads always take so fucking long to mow. Why they're always on first speed.
If I were mowing my lawn, if I had a rider, it'd be on 6 the whole time, just flying down. I'd be like Bobby Boucher after Vicky Valancourt zoops up his lawnmower. That speed. I'd be like Tim Taylor putting a Cessna engine in my lawnmower.
You know when you play like an arcade game and you like get a high score, and then the more you play that game, you keep trying to beat your high score? Mm-hmm. That's how I would be if I had that. I would time myself the first time I mow.
You get your personal best.
Best, and I'm trying to beat that every single time.
Yeah. Oh, man. Anyway, the slider to my Iceman across the table from me is my favorite brother, Brandon Wise. I switch it up. Everybody else does Maverick and Goose, but I changed it. That's Brandon Wise. I'm Tyler Wise, and up next, come on, it's Czechoslovakia. We zip in, we pick them up, we zip right out again. We're not going to Moscow. It's Czechoslovakia. It's like going into Wisconsin. Ultimate Showdown 11. Coming up in about 23 seconds.
Are you ready?
You are looking live. They're fighting. They're swinging. Down goes Anderson. Down goes Anderson.
Piece of you. I want the whole thing.
Are you kidding? What a despicable act that was. No! Oh my God. Right through the glass window of the barber shop. So this escalated after it de-escalated.
Ding, ding.
You mentioned after the music started, you said, "Oh, I like that you didn't tip off the topic of this episode."
Yeah,
that's because I didn't really know what to call it, because it sounds weird to just call it like a Memorial Day episode, because it seems like weird to talk about what we're talking about, like in honor of Memorial Day.
Right.
But that's basically what it is. So that's what we're doing, and we're just going to lean into it. I just didn't want to call it like a Memorial Day special, because that sounds weird and disrespectful.
To be fair, I had asked you to come up with everything and not tell me. Even the theme, I didn't want to know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a total blind reaction to everything you're about to tell me.
Yeah. We were planning to record Sunday, I think, and that was the day after Armed Forces Day. And then we're releasing the Sunday before Memorial Day, which is probably when everybody has their family cookouts for Memorial Day.
They should do the Sunday before Memorial Day, National Cookout Day.
Yeah, that's what it should be. So in honor of those two things combined, I'm doing kind of a military theme.
I kind of got that.
Yeah, I switched it up. Everybody does Maverick and Goose. You see the T-shirts all the time. It's like, you're the slider to my Iceman. I mean, Iceman was really the hero of that movie.
He really was.
Yeah, Maverick's an asshole.
He is.
Iceman is just as good as Maverick. He just does it the right way. So he's the villain? Come on.
He's still kind of an asshole in Top Gun Maverick, too. Like,
yeah, he really is. Oh,
although John Hamm's character is kind of an idiot.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's like, you were a fighter pilot? You're dumb. How did you not die?
Yeah, some of their planning was a little strange.
Like, how did you not...
know. They made it a little too easy for Maverick to come in and be the hero in that one.
Like, I feel like he should have died. Like, how did you not die in your first practice run? I feel like you would have just died flying off the carrier.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now you're the lead. Like,
they kind of make him seem like he's supposed to be more like an Iceman type character where he's like, we got to do things the right way, the safe way, so nobody gets hurt. But it's like, literally everything is telling you that if you do it this way, everybody's going to die. We as an audience know that because everybody's been telling that to us from the jump here. And you're just like, nah, we're going to do it the way that kills everybody. Which just doesn't never really made much sense. It was kind of a bad character. But I don't want to tear that movie apart because I thought it was fun.
Loved it so much. Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah. It's one of those things like you have to stop yourself from thinking too hard about it.
Just enjoy the nostalgia.
Yeah. But anyway, we got some dark matches here. So, our first dark match, Major Frank Burns from MASH versus Major Payne, the Damon Wayans character, the first Damon Wayans, the original Damon Wayans.
The original.
Some might say Damon Wayans Sr., but I like to say the original, the first draft of Damon Wayans. So I had Major Payne taking that one in the dark match.
I prefer that one over the remake. The remake Damon.
The remake, the Damon Wayans reboot. Although he's pretty funny too. But anyway.
They're all pretty funny.
Yeah.
Who'd you have winning?
Payne. I had Major Payne taking that one. Payne. Prediction. Payne. I don't hate Balboa. Anyway, this
Why do we
one,
always talk about Rocky in every podcast?
I know. One of these matches was going to include the president from Independence Day again for like the third episode in the last like 5. So I avoided that one. I went with a different option, but it was close. I almost threw him in there. But our next match, so it's really random. We have Armie Hammer. You ever watch The Social Network?
Oh.
The twins. Oh, he was also in Call Me By Your Name, I think, with Timmy.
Yeah.
Timmy Chalamet. Timmy with 2 E's. So anyway, we have Armie Hammer versus Arlie Ermey, I think is how you pronounce that. The drill sergeant from Full Metal Jacket. It's like the one thing he's famous for. I mean, he was in actually a lot of other stuff too, but every time you see him, it's like, hey, it's that guy. It's the sergeant dude from Full Metal Jacket. I had him winning that one. Yeah. Like he's got that like old school grit to him. Like he's not gonna let anybody named Army take him down. Anyway, so then we have, speaking of Full Metal Jacket, his protege, Private Pyle from Full Metal Jacket versus Private Ryan of Saving Private Ryan. Just a couple of doofuses. Private Ryan is such a doofus in that movie.
He really is.
Like I get that that's the point. It kind of took me a bit to realize that's kind of the point of that they get there, and he's like this just dumbass. And like it's like the pointlessness of the whole thing. It's just like, oh, we're following orders. We're going to save this guy. He's like, oh, this guy better be like a, some great dude. And he's just like,
A guy.
he's just a guy that tells really dumb stories about his youth or whatever. I don't know. He's absolutely nothing
What I
special.
love about that scene is when he's telling the story to Tom Hanks's character, and Tom Hanks is just kind of looking at him like,
Yeah, he's like, is there a point to this?
yeah, you gonna,
There better be a good punchline.
let's
What's
land-
happening?
let's land this plane before the Germans come.
Yeah, it is a long story too, and he's just like waiting for it to have a point. It just keeps going.
Some
God.
say he was still telling the story during the German attack.
He probably was. Hey, Captain, my brother. So the next week.
Nothing will upset me more in that movie than
Oh yeah,
the stair scene.
yeah, that's a rough one.
Man, that guy just... I know that was the point, and I get it. I understand all
Yeah.
the points. Doesn't mean I have to like him. All you had to do was go up there and shoot... it's whatever.
I mean, he doesn't even have to do anything. Just go up there. That probably would have been enough. Just be another guy. That would have been enough to at least give him at least a fighting chance, because you would have distracted him enough. Just stand there. You don't have to shoot anybody. It's 2 against 1 at that point. And all he's got to do is like look over his shoulder, and then he can get the jump on him. Man,
That's such a frustrating
it's a
scene.
very frustrating scene. And it's such a slow, like,
I know, that's
the
what...
knife going in.
And then...
Ugh.
Shh.
Yeah.
Oh, God, he's like putting a... It's like putting a horse down. Like,
Yeah,
it's
really,
just-
it's terrible.
God.
It's a brutal scene. And that's like, there's still like 10 more minutes of the battle left.
I know.
That is a rough final scene. Anywho, moving on. Oh, I had Private Pile winning that one. He's just big and got a lot of pent up rage. So I think I don't think it would take much of a brain to outmaneuver Private Ryan.
Yeah, because I feel like Private Pile couldn't help the way he was.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like Private Ryan was just kind of like dumb to be dumb.
Yeah, he almost like didn't get the severity of the situation.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
I feel like even...
he didn't seem like he was all that hardened by war.
I think Private Pile understood the severity. I mean, when he got the shit kicked out of him in bed, he understood that he can't fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think you're right, though.
But anyway, so yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of dark matches for this one, but that's what we got. So onto our main card here. So we got a good opener here, I think. This one's actually been sitting in the drafts folder for a little bit, but I added one to fill it out here. So first off, we got John McClane from Die Hard versus former presidential candidate John McCain
Come on.
versus President James Marshall from Air Force One.
There it is.
Yeah. That was a weird noise that I just made.
Okay, General Grievous.
Okay, so as I said, John McClane, Bruce Willis's character from Die Hard. John McCain, the former senator, Vietnam vet, POW, presidential candidate. And then, James Marshall, who's Harrison Ford's character from Air Force One. He's the president. And the connection, there is a loop. So we have John McClane. John McCain, obviously the name situation is similar. Also, he was very close to winning the presidency. Next character was the president in his movie that was described as Die Hard on a plane. Die Hard on Air Force One, actually. There already was a Die Hard on a plane. Passenger 57. There's so many of these. But it was basically Die Hard on Air Force One. So it's like slightly different. But yeah, terrorists take over Air Force One, and he's like the one guy, and he's got some military training. But they think he's off the plane. They think they've sent him off on this little pod, basically, to keep him safe. But he's like, nah, this is my plane. And then he takes down the terrorists one by one. Cool. Good movie.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. Oh, so we kind of know John McCain is like an old man, but this is going to be like prime John McCain. He's been through some shit. He's seen some stuff.
Damn, man.
I think we're going movie James Marshall, so he's kind of old. But he did take down a whole group of... I think they're in a fictional Soviet country. so I don't know.
My
where they
favorite
come
part
from.
about that movie, and it's gonna sound so morbid, but it's towards the end of the movie when he finally like kills the main guy. He hangs him with the parachute and then throws him out the plane, and he's just like hung, but
Yeah.
like just like floating.
Yeah, and then they show him with the parachute.
The first time I
he's
s-
just like
the-
got this broken neck. Just
The first time I saw it, I mean, I just died.
yeah.
So, because I was taking summer courses in high school,
Mm-hmm.
and one of our classes was I think it was a history class. So that was one of the movies we
Oh
watched,
yeah.
and we watched that movie.
Great American history there,
Right,
Air Force One.
right.
We all remember where we were the day President James Marshall stopped the terrorists from taking down Air Force One. He protected those launch codes.
I just remember the whole class just dying laughing during that scene. It was like, oh man.
Oh, yeah, it is a funny shot. It was an odd choice.
Well,
Like,
because the
I get-
camera's on him for so long.
Yeah,
while
they
he's just-
watch it while he like floats away. It's just like an odd juxtaposition, I think.
Yeah.
Because like normally you see like the guy die, and it's like you see him like Hans Gruber
Gruber
when
just
he's
falling.
falling
Yeah,
off
yeah,
the
yeah.
thing. It's like, oh, that's like a big moment. But his like dramatic death scene is just him like slowly floating away
Like he's already dead.
with his neck at a right angle. And, like at first I didn't get exactly what happened, like how he like got rid of him, and then you see like the parachute, but like he wrapped it around his neck real fast beforehand, and then he says, "Get off my plane," and then he pulls the cord. Because like at first it's just like, oh, the parachute got him, but like isn't he gonna be fine? But then you have to realize that he wrapped the thing around him first before the parachute gets him, so that's what snaps his neck.
So they're
So like they do kind of have to show him, but it's the fact that they show it for like a whole 5 seconds of him just like slowly floating across the screen.
So there's a Family Guy episode where Peter gets really involved in like jumping off of planes,
Oh yeah,
and so he gets like super into it and like super experienced. So he starts to like do these different themed ones, and one is the one is the Harrison Ford experience, and what all it is when you're jumping off the plane, it's him grabbing you and says, "Get off my plane," and he throws you off. So it just throws all the people.
the participants.
Yeah. So just him over and over, "Get off my plane, get off my plane."
That's funny. You watch Bob's Burgers occasionally, right?
Yeah.
Every once in a while they'll do like little parody episodes where like the kids will like tell stories basically,
Yeah.
but they're basically just doing a movie. Kind of like how Family Guy does, where they have their characters all playing parts of the movie. Well, there's one with Gene where he's basically doing Air Force One, but there's like multiple characters at the like multiple like bad guys at the end, so he has to do that at the end. He just goes, "Get off my plane! Get off my plane! Get off my plane!"
Well, anyways, we should actually.
Yeah,
get
we
to
should
the
probably
match.
talk about the match. Yeah, we got movie, the original first Die Hard Bruce Willis before he was like a superhero. Prime John McCain, so probably like Vietnam soldier John McCain.
I'm just gonna
then-
say I'm immediately giving the edge to John McCain. Dude's a POW. Surviving it, that's brutal.
yeah,
We've all seen Rambo.
yeah, he's certainly durable, to say the least.
Durable.
I didn't want to just say tough because I feel like I say tough a lot of these, so I wanted to go with a different adjective.
He's rugged.
Yeah. Plus, he's got like the combat training.
Yeah.
James Marshall, former combat training. Also, he's smart enough to be the president. But also, John McCain was a candidate for president, and he was a senator for decades. So, but at this point, we're talking prime John McCain. I'm not sure what rank he was. He was in the Army, right? Or was he a Marine? I can't remember. I don't remember what he was.
Yeah.
Let's both look it up at the same time. John Sidney McCain. I did not know that was his middle name. Oh, he was in the Navy. I did not know that. He was a naval aviator.
Yep.
Huh. I guess I don't necessarily associate the Navy as much with Vietnam for some reason. It's usually the media depictions. It's almost always
Army.
Yeah. Army and Marines, I guess.
It looks like in 1981 he retired as the rank of captain.
Captain. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, he was an officer. So, yeah, the Navy ranks always confuse me too. our Navy family is going to yell at me for getting this wrong, but I think captain is on the same level as colonel in the Army, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember, but I think that's right. Somewhere it's closer. It's like higher than captain in the Army, I think, and they're different because it makes it real easy for people to remember those things when they make them different like that.
Send all your hate texts to Tyler and not me.
Right here. Yes, I'm the one that got it wrong. So he was an officer. John McClane, just a cop. But also he walked across glass and just kept on going. He showed the pain, though. He wasn't impervious like a Rambo or a Commando or some other kind of character. So I don't know. McClane's tough. He can handle himself. He outsmarted the terrorists, but they also they were underestimating him literally the entire time.
Okay, so James Marshall was also in not actually, but you know what I'm getting at. Was actually also in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
He was an aviator, helicopter aviator.
Oh,
in Vietnam. So we got a couple Vietnam vets here.
Yeah, but this is movie James Marshall, so he's like he's probably like 50-ish.
That's true.
So that changes things a little bit.
And we
said prime John McCain.
That's right. Oh man,
I think I'm still with you. I think McCain still has the edge. McClane might be able to be a little crafty with it, and Marshall probably has to do the same kind of deal. He's also older. He also gets lucky a lot in that movie.
Yeah.
McClane, that's confusing. McClane. Ho, ho, ho. Oh, God, you're one of them, aren't you? His American accent is brutal in that movie. I could probably sit here and talk about Die Hard all day, too.
Die Hard.
Followed right out of your
I
chair.
literally almost fell out of my chair.
So, yeah, where were we? I don't know. I said, oh, yeah, like I knew, but I don't remember. But what I was saying earlier, I don't know if this is what I was talking about before I got sidetracked, but McClane and Marshall, they're both kind of crafty. They both get lucky a lot, so they might have to rely on that a little more. Marshall's older. He's a little weaker, but more of the combat training than McClane does. So they might be like fairly evenly matched. I think McCain's the clear favorite in this.
He's easily the favorite.
Yeah.
Like
he's probably the most physically capable, and
yeah, Marshall's got the Vietnam experience, but again, he's older, so you just naturally.
How much do you attribute to movie magic in this match? Do McClane and Marshall get a little bit of a bonus, a little bit almost like a magical bonus because they're the heroes in their story? Does that make sense? Am I explaining that right? Do we apply that here or no?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the whole point of Ultimate Showdown is we kind of break down.
We take them out of their situations.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
we strip them of the movie magic, not necessarily that, or is that what? Or you're saying the other way?
I'm saying we keep in mind the movie magic, but it's not. That's not what defines them.
Okay.
We take what they're known for in the movie and we try to apply that in what they would do in other situations.
Okay, I got you. So that kind of evens it a little bit.
That's why I'm saying James Marshall, he has the Vietnam experience, but I'm not diminishing the title, but like he was an aviator, so he flew helicopters around.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of hand-to-hand stuff.
Right, and he wasn't a POV. A POW.
He wasn't a point of view character.
He wasn't a POW, so he didn't withstand the torture and everything. And like you said, he's older in this match, so
yeah.
Naturally,
he's definitely the oldest.
Naturally, you just father time hits and you slow down a little bit. So he might still have.
He does struggle a little bit to take down a lot of the guys.
So he'll still have the instincts from his serving days, but
also it's it's Harrison Ford. So literally the only move he has is like a right hook.
Yeah,
that's about all he's capable of in these movies. He's not throwing like any like high kicks or anything. He's not doing any roundhouses or like even like an arm breaker or whatever kind of stupid crap. I mean, McClane doesn't really do anything crazy either. But
honestly, I think him and Marshall kind of go at it for a while, and Marshall gets worn down.
Yeah,
if it's prime McCain,
he's eventually going to get gassed.
He's worn down, and it really comes down to McCain and McClane.
Yeah.
I can't even say a first name of one because they're both
Yeah, no, they're both John. Yeah. In Die Hard, he does have that physical exhaustion. He gets tired right off the bat.
Yeah.
And it's a long movie. He's got some time to rest in between scenes. But this is just a quick match. This is like a 10, 15-minute match here. So yeah, I think you're right. I think Marshall's eventually out, and then it's just a McCain-McClane duel. I think McCain probably has the stamina to outlast him.
I think so too.
And the combat skills, because like McClane he's just a cop. I don't know if he was in the military. Doesn't seem like a military guy.
No, it sounds like he
so he
sounds
doesn't
very
have the discipline. I don't think.
Yeah, it feels like he's very not by the book.
Yeah,
and I like McClane. I love the character. I love the movie, but he also kind of gives off a little excessive force vibes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he might not be fully by the book. He might stretch the book a little bit.
Yeah, he's bending the rules, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, and McCain very much strikes me as a by the books guy. I mean, you kind of saw that in his time as senator and everything.
I mean, yeah, he was one of the most respected, really any politician, national politicians at least.
Yeah.
So does that mean you think McClane gets a little bit of an edge there because he's stretching the rules a little bit?
Maybe a little bit, but I still think ultimately it comes down to
just raw skill.
Just raw skill, and I don't think. And McClane, how old is he in that movie?
That's true too, because prime McCain would probably be like his early mid-20s, maybe.
So
McClane, I think, is I don't know. He's probably in his mid-30s at least, at the youngest probably. They have kids. He's probably in his mid to late 30s, I would say.
They both obviously can take an absolute shit beating and be able to still fight through it.
Yeah.
But I just think McCain would take it.
Yeah. McClane can pull out all the tricks. I don't think you're really taking him down.
Yeah.
He's too much of a juggernaut, that McCain.
McClane can pull out all the tricks he wants. He can pull out every single trick he knows. Again, McCain was a POW. He knows how to take it.
Yeah.
There's probably nothing compared to what he had to deal with in Vietnam.
It's a piece of cake to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're rolling with McCain then?
Yes.
McCain beats John McClane and James Marshall.
It's kind of funny. MacGruber calls him a cowboy the whole time, and McCain's nickname was the Maverick.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I don't know if James Marshall had a Western themed nickname. Anywho, we got our winner, John McCain. Senator John McCain.
John McCain. Ding, ding.
Okay, here we go. All right. Next one. I think you're really going to like this one. A flashback to our childhood. We have G.I. Joe versus Chip Hazard from Small Soldiers.
Oh, come on.
Did you recognize the name before I said Small Soldiers? I feel like you were reacting to it immediately.
Yeah, as soon as he said Chip Hazard,
Chip Hazard,
I was like, yeah, I watched that movie all the fucking time.
Yeah, I remember watching it a ton when we were kids. It's probably been 22 years since I seen that, at least. It was such a fun movie. Probably not great for kids. I was reading some of the themes. I'm like, I don't know. This seems like it's pretty...
That's how a lot of our stuff was.
Yeah.
There's a lot of underlying like adult themes to the shit we used to watch.
For sure. Yeah, they were throwing a lot of that stuff. I was like, oh, this will go over the kids' heads until like 2 years from now when they get the joke, and then it definitely didn't go over their heads. Just an animated G.I. Joe versus, the Chip Hazard that we see in the movie, where he gets like a chip, a microchip, an AI microchip from the government, and comes to life, basically. I was considering making it like a lumberjack match, and it would just have like the other G.I. Joes from the TV show, and then also the other Commando Elite from the rest of the movie in Small Soldiers. I guess listeners out there, if you haven't watched Small Soldiers,
highly recommend it.
If you want a nice movie that you don't have to think about, That's the one. So basically, the premise is there's this toy company, I guess, that gets bought out by like a tech company, I think. But this tech company has contracts with the military. So they're trying to like release this new toy line. So they combine two toy lines. One is this Commando Elite, which is basically like roided out G.I. Joes.
With very evil personality.
Yeah, incredibly evil. And then this other group that's like alien creatures, basically, but they're supposed to be peaceful, but they also have like weapons on them, so I don't know. So they like combine them into one thing, and then they use this microchip that's supposed to be, I think it's like an AI, artificial intelligence, that's supposed to be meant for the Department of Defense, but they end up putting them into these toys instead, because that's what happens when you have companies that are making toys and also weapons somehow. So they get them mixed up, they put them in those toys, and then the toys come to life in this like store that this kid accidentally brings them to life. And then Chip Hazard, who's the leader of the Commando Elite, he like activates all the other toys. They start wreaking havoc. They start attacking the other group of toys, which is like they were supposed to be the peaceful ones. They start attacking them and trying to kill all of them, because that was like how they were programmed, I guess. They start improvising a bunch of weapons, and they are basically taking over this town and trying to kill. And this kid has the one, like the leader of the peaceful group. I can't remember what they're called. They're like Gromulons or something. It's like a weird made up word. So basically havoc ensues, and then eventually they defeat the evil toys. So we're looking at the leader of these roided out G.I. Joes, Chip Hazard, played by Tommy Lee Jones. Perfect. You really couldn't have asked for a better voice for that type of character.
You need a voice for a bad guy? Tommy Lee. Yeah,
Tommy Lee
sure.
Jones. Especially like a military guy with a flat top haircut. Like could put a couple of wine glasses on there. It's so flat. You have any thoughts on this one? Opening thoughts here?
I don't know. I have some. Is this just a regular one-on-one match?
Yeah, just one-on-one.
Regular.
Maybe like an occasional interference here and there, but they got to distract the referee first.
Yeah,
that
so
kind of situation.
Obviously, yeah, the Commando Elite come in, and then the Gorgonites come in. And,
Gorgonites, that's the one. Yeah.
I'm kind of reading up on his bio a little bit here. I like how a toy has a bio, but whatever.
What, G.I. Joe or Chip Hazard?
Chip Hazard.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've watched the movie, so
It's been a while.
It's been a while. I get to actually see that band this weekend.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm surprised you actually said it. I always thought you hated me when I say it.
Yeah, I know. You haven't done it in a while. I think it was high time somebody brought it back.
I know we kind of tried to clarify this in the last match, but are we going off of the stereotype of these toys? Like G.I. Joe is like very right by the world, usually gets down early, comes out on top.
Yeah.
Are we kind of going off of that?
Yeah, I'm kind of going kind of like the character in the TV show, where basically he's just like, oh no, Cobra is at it again. And then
Cobra!
Yo Joe. And yeah, and then they foil the Cobra plan, and then they come out on top, and then they, oh darn, Cobra escaped us, and well, at least we saved the Pentagon. I don't know why they'd be saving the Pentagon, but
So if that's the case, then I think Chip Hazard gets down and dirty early.
yeah, I think so. That's the thing. So, like I said, he's a roided out G.I. Joe. He's bigger, stronger. He's just gonna go ham, basically. Also, doesn't really care if he kills anybody. He goes off the rails real fast.
Real quick.
The thing with the G.I. Joes, though, nobody dies in G.I. Joe. They don't kill anybody because it's a kid's show. So they're not allowed to kill anybody. So I don't know how, like, I don't know. Does he have like some sort of like mystical powers of not being able to be defeated?
Well, okay. Is this
But can the like extremities of the Commando Elite and that PG-13 movie?
Okay, so this is a one-on-one match. Is it like a wrestling match?
Yeah.
Okay, so then just like DQs and countouts would count then.
Let's make it a hardcore match. I feel like you have to, because G.I. Joe, or with Chip Hazard, like he's always got like different weapons, but they're also toy weapons, so they're not like terribly effective.
So these guys are fighting as toys, not like
Yes,
we're not...
these are animated toys.
Okay.
In like a little 20-inch by 20-inch wrestling ring.
So we're basically doing the match as if somebody was playing with these two toys in their own real like
yes,
wrestling ring. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So me, back in the day.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Did you know anybody that had the little toy wrestling ring?
I did.
Did they ever have the cage that went over it, like
I
a Hell in a Cell or the cage match?
I think he did.
Because I had a friend that had the Hell in a Cell. Never understood it. We never played with it. It's like, how do you play with that?
Yeah.
You'd have to have ghost arms to play with that.
Yeah, you just gotta like
You just like set them up and look, and hope they start doing something,
and just
or just like open the top up. But then like, what's the point
you
of
just
having
kind
a
of
top?
like awkwardly stick your arm in. Yeah.
Yeah, let me reach into here. Oh, he's climbing the thing. Oh, but there's no top on it because I took the top off. Oh, they'll flip the top back over so they can climb on top and then crash through the thing, or throw Mick Foley off of it.
We always just use the breakable tables and chairs and ladders and everything.
Those are always fun.
Yeah. And now that ring was cool because the ropes were like
incredibly
really
springy.
so we would get wild with it and just like slingshot them off and
Yeah, that's fun.
yeah. So okay. So
In a hardcore match, I feel like Chip Hazard has like a super advantage because he's just gonna not give a flying F about anything. He's just gonna go crazy on him. A little sadistic. G.I. Joe might be able to take advantage of that. And
I also think
maybe use the aggression against him, but I don't know.
Well, I also think G.I. Joe's not going to use any weapons.
Yeah,
I feel like
he would use like his government issue weapons.
I think the only way he'd grab a weapon is to block him from getting one used on him.
Yeah, fair.
And he would like do the thing where he like struggles with, well, should I hit him with the chair? And then he's just like, no,
After
I'm
a
not.
second, he throws it away.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh.
Yeah. And then then Chip's coming over here just like with a chainsaw and shit.
Slips the brass knucks on. Kapowie.
Honestly, I think if it's a hardcore match, I think Chip's taking it.
The only thing is if there's an interference of some sort. The other Joes come in. I don't know. I don't know any of the other Joe names, but they all have goofy names.
Yeah, but if they come in, they're only to get the rest of the Commando Elite out.
Yeah,
they
don't come in first. Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming to save.
Yeah, it would have to be a moment where like Chip Hazard gets a little braggadocious, starts like playing up to the crowd, and then Joe comes in and takes him out from behind and starts to get the upper hand.
Gives him an old Boston crab or something. Based off your earlier point about how evil these guys were and how when you watch the movie as an adult, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So I'm on Chip Hazard's fandom wiki, right? Mm-hmm. The list of crimes he has listed for him in order are barbarism or barbarism, kidnapping, attempted murder, conspiracy, cracking, illegal experimentation, jingoism. I don't know what that is.
That's not a crime, I don't think.
That's what it says.
Jingoism is like overly patriotic, basically. I think, if I remember right.
Murder, arson, terrorism, torture, vandalism, and blackmail.
Okay. That's a good list. That's a heck of a rap sheet. Is that just crimes he commits in the movie?
That's what it says, yeah. So his skills are, he's super intelligent, coordination and teamwork, efficiency at building improvised weapons and vehicles, strategy, expertise in military training.
Yeah, so I think I'm still with you. I think he still takes it.
I do too.
I think it's pretty easy too. I don't think the G.I. Joe magic.
I think G.I. Joe just lets his
helps enough.
He just lets his morality get in the way too much.
Yeah. Hazard's just going to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
He's just going to walk right over him. Okay, so Chip Hazard, pretty easily.
I think so.
I think he handles it.
I think it's a good match, but there's a lot of shit that happens with the interference and then being chased off, and he gets to a point where he's like, he thinks the only way to beat him is to, hit him in the balls with a kendo stick or something. And he's like about to do it, and he's like, no, I can't. I gotta stick to my code, my moral code. And that's when they're like, well, I don't. And Chip's like, nah, fuck you, I don't. And then
he hits him with his finisher. And,
he's done.
Yeah. I was trying to think of the name of what his finisher move would be. Here's the Old Glory for you. But then the only thing I could think of was Old Faithful, and that's like not the thing.
Could be like the Gorgo Destroyer.
It's a good one. Anyway, Chip Hazard. Ding, ding. Next one. You can see where my brain was headed after that last one. We have the Plastic Army Men versus a barrel of monkeys from Toy Story. So again, we're talking about animated toys. We have our little army men, our little green army men. They operate as a military unit, as we see in the movie. By the way, this is also how I got here. Sarge, the main army guy in Toy Story, voiced by Arlie Army. From Full Metal Jacket. Anyway, it all connects. Sorry, my brain went to that squirrel commercial with the birds, the pigeons. I think it's a DirecTV commercial with the squirrel, the pigeons, because she's like the one where it's like all connected, and then it's the squirrel voiced by that one. I can't remember her freaking name. She plays Louise in Bob's Burgers, and she plays Speaking of Toy Story, she plays the one dinosaur, the blue Triceratops in the later Toy Story movies. The same voice.
Squirrel.
Anyway,
squirrel.
But she comes out, the squirrel's like, yeah, it's all connected, and she's like a crazy conspiracy theorist, and they're like, what the hell's going on?
Have you seen that?
You know what I'm talking about with the pigeons?
Have you seen that animated commercial where it's like the mom? It's like the mom is like worried about her daughter's safety, like going out or whatever, and it's like, make sure you text your mom, whatever. But like her mom, throughout the whole commercial is like this kid like getting kidnapped or like arms pulled off, and like. You've never seen this commercial? I don't know
what. You said it's an animated one?
Yeah, well, it starts off as like a live action.
Oh, and then it switches to
and it's like a
I've
musical.
Never seen that.
Yeah, and it's like because how moms worry that the worst is going to happen to you when you're out or whatever. And
what's it a commercial for?
I don't remember.
Is it like a PSA thing?
I think it's like a PSA kind of commercial, and
weird.
it's very, very, very strange.
Huh.
And like I get the message behind it, but I don't know, because we watch the same stuff at work as each other,
mostly.
And I see it all the time.
Really, I feel like I haven't.
Although I
feel like I get a lot of the PSAs,
maybe,
like what's that NHTSA or something.
Maybe it's because I'm watching Hell's Kitchen a lot at work, and
maybe
it's on that channel.
One. Yeah, it sounds like a weird one. But anyway, the army men operate as a military unit, so very organized, but they are hindered by their feet being attached to the little platform thingy underneath them. So got to keep that in mind.
They waddle like a penguin.
Yep. And then the monkeys are basically just monkeys, but they got really long arms that they can link together, form like a chain. But they're basically just monkeys.
Monkeys. I think they can get. Just keep doing the arm motion for me. That'll get.
I'll keep acting it out. Yeah.
I'm trying to make a point, and you're just sitting there doing the thing, and I'm like, I can't focus.
Yes, monkeys go.
I feel like the monkeys could link up and like create like a
human whip almost,
a whip or a crane or something, and just like knock them off one by one.
They do get pretty coordinated. They like swing around and attack people.
Yeah, but again, they're organized military guys. They can come up with a counter to that pretty quickly.
Yeah,
because I feel like it would get 3 or 4 dudes.
Yeah,
out.
They do operate several missions throughout the series, so yeah, they might be able to. They might have to. They get some recon on the monkeys, figure out how they behave. Oh, the chain's coming.
Some recon on the monkeys.
Yeah, I don't really know where to go with this one. I have no idea how this match would play out, but I feel like you're right. Where I think the monkeys are bigger. So that might have something to do with it. And I said in my notes here, I wanted them to be equal number. So if we have 40 army men, we have 40 monkeys. And I think the monkeys are bigger.
I think the monkeys could get creative too. They could form a chain. They could form, they could form themselves into a little ball.
Yeah, roll them over.
Yeah, roll them over.
Yeah, come here, just steamroll them. I mean, they can climb really well. I think the army guys climb a little bit, but I mean, they're basically just like little men, so they can't really climb
And
all that
again,
well.
they're hindered by their
They
platform
got their little feet.
thing. Man, I think the monkeys could
Clunker
take
thing.
this. I think
Yeah.
the feet really kind of put them.
Yeah, because they're pretty slow that way. The monkeys are pretty fast. And
They got the agility advantage.
It's like, like a bundle of sticks is stronger together. We got that bundle of monkeys. It's
Are-
hard to take that down.
Are the soldiers' guns working guns, or are they just the plastic guns? Then they don't work.
That is a good question. I don't know. I mean, if that's the case, I think they
Then
take it pretty
it's an
easily.
annihilation. Like it's just no
Yeah,
contest.
an annihilation. Yeah.
Shut the fuck.
Yeah, I don't think that. I don't
I
think
don't
they
know
work.
why it is I can't ever talk when this fucking microphone is in my face. I can't ever pronounce anything right.
It's the pressure of the situation.
I feel no anxiety, no pressure, no anything when we're talking, but I just cannot
There's a
pronounce
little
words.
tiny part of your brain that's not conscious, but it's there, and it's telling you, "Screw it up. You're gonna screw it up. Here it is. You're gonna screw it up." Annihilation. Darn it. He's like, "I knew you were gonna screw it up." That's the yeah. So
It just makes it worse every other time you say yeah.
yeah. So I think they could probably use the guns that they have. They can use them as like a
what?
hand to hand kind of thing.
So they don't shoot, but they can use them because they're
Yeah.
in their hand already.
Mhm.
All right.
And they can use the radio somehow.
Okay, that helps.
I think
a
it's it probably has to be set like in Andy's room. By the way, also.
yeah. I just kind of assumed it was. In
Yeah,
Andy's
that's
room.
probably where you were picturing it already. And the monkeys can climb too, so I think that gives them a big advantage.
I think them using their guns not to shoot, but as a weapon, helps them
It helps a little bit, but they also have to get close enough to the monkeys
to be able to do it.
To be able to do
and
it.
they're so
And
agile.
if you get close to a monkey, they're fast, they're bigger, they got those long ass arms. I think the monkeys take it still.
What a creative!
I'm still linking
What
me.
a creative movie!
Yeah, I know.
Like,
Can you imagine how much fun that was?
oh my god!
To just brainstorm all of the things they wanted to do with that movie, because a lot of it's just gags.
You imagine pitching it to Tom Hanks and Tim Allen.
Yeah,
Hey, you're gonna play a toy. I'm in.
yeah.
You're gonna play a toy cowboy.
You're gonna have like a board meeting, like a company meeting with a bunch of your favorite childhood toys.
Sitting on the board is gonna be a slinky dog, a dinosaur, a tog.
A
What is
tog.
tog?
I don't know. What
A talking car.
Yeah,
A wheezy ass penguin.
yeah.
You son of a bitch! I'm in.
And a little shark in a toy box. Has anybody seen my head? Hi, I'm Woody. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Anyway, I like that shark when he pops on. He's got the little hat on. Howdy, howdy. Anyway, we are off topic, but we're still on topic.
Did you know?
We still on topic.
This is completely off topic, but
Off topic.
voices in my head. Who's the guy that plays the pig?
John Ratzenberger.
Yeah, he's a real famous voice.
Speaking of, he was co-star with George Wendt, who just died today.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all a
All
circle.
connected.
It's all a circle.
But I just found out you're familiar with Criminal Minds, the TV show,
Yeah.
right? Gideon played Indigo Montoya.
Inigo Montoya? Yeah.
Inigo Montoya.
Is Inigo Montoya?
I did not know.
Monteo is what I just said. So I also have the voice.
Well,
I'm very familiar with the voice.
I've actually never. Yeah, I mean, I've seen bits and pieces of Princess Bride. I've never
Yeah,
actually watched it
never
all the
watched
way
it
full,
all,
but like
All the way full. That glass. Just all the way. We better wrap this shit up. We're losing it. Whew,
pretty soon
boy.
we're just gonna have to have AI just do this show for us. Like,
Yeah.
my goodness. Well, my girlfriend and I have been watching Criminal Minds, and I was looking up the Gideon character,
Yeah.
what he's been in. I'm like, no way, he was Inigo Montoya. Like that's
Yeah.
insane to me.
Yeah,
and,
that's wild.
And she was like, I've watched that movie. I'm like, yeah, he's like one of the main characters. She goes, shut the hell up. I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, look, it's right here. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, he's probably like the third character in that.
yeah.
Also, another connection. I'm pretty sure, if I remember right, it's oh shoot, I'm not gonna remember his name. One of the Spinal Tap guys. Crap. Also, he's married to Jamie Lee Curtis, which is not relevant to this conversation. Christopher Guest, I don't know if that's him. I think it is. Yeah, Princess Bride. He's like the bad guy. Is he the 11-fingered guy or the 6-fingered? Is that what they say? 6? Is it 6 or 11? I think he just has 6 on one hand. I think.
Well, like I said, I watched bits and pieces. So
yeah,
totally
but he's
familiar.
like he's the guy that killed his father because he was a 6-fingered man. My father was killed by a 6-fingered man. He says that a couple of times. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Okay, monkeys and army guys.
If Inigo Montoya showed up in this match, what would happen? He'd beat all of them because he's cool. You know, he's like a really good singer too.
That doesn't surprise me.
What's his name? Mandy Patinkin. Yeah.
Well, looking that up inspired me to look up all the other characters, and Hotchner was fucking Greg and Dharma and Greg.
Was he really?
Yeah.
I did not realize that. I knew he looked familiar.
Yeah,
but I didn't realize...
So did I. And that's, yeah.
Dharma and Greg. It's funny that he was in a sitcom because he's so serious in that movie. He makes like 7 jokes, and they're all very dry. And then he just has that Hotch smile, and it's like, holy shit. It's one of 10 smiles he has in this TV show.
Yep.
Anywho.
Again.
Back to the Army Men and the Barrio of Monkeys. Here we are.
Barrio Speedwagon.
Yes, the Barrio Speedwagon of Monkeys.
Are we ever going to finish this episode?
I think it's the Barrel of Monkeys.
Can
we just decide that? Are we in agreement
monkeys,
on that one?
Yep. Ding, ding.
Wow, I don't even know if we want to go to this last one because it's going to be real long. So our main event here, part of me thinks this is going to be a quick one. Part of me thinks we're going to be talking about this for 45 minutes. Could go either way. So we have, in the blue corner over here, we have the bulletproof John Rambo versus the untouchable Casey Ryback from Under Siege.
Oh, goodness.
It's main event time.
So we have John Rambo, obviously, played by Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone, yeah. Sylvester Stallone. We're going First Blood Part 2 Rambo, by the way, because that's when he like runs through an open field facing the entire Vietnamese army and doesn't take a single bullet. And then we have Casey Ryback. What a name, by the way, from Under Siege. It's not Under Siege. I don't know why I always say it like that. Under Siege, played by Steven Seagal, who I think it might actually be in his contract that literally nobody can land a punch on him because nobody ever does in the movie. Like, literally nobody. He takes on an entire group of terrorists that are taking over this nuclear battleship or whatever it is. And he just takes down the entire group and nobody lands a punch on him. He's basically his namesake in the WWE, Ryback, when he first debuted and just like demolished everybody. And it's all connected. Tommy Lee Jones.
Yep. Tommy Lee Jones was the bad guy.
He's the main bad guy. Gary Busey is the inside man that turns on everybody.
Yeah.
And he helps him get on the ship. So like they're basically the two Bane guys.
I love his occupation in the movie as culinary specialist SEAL.
Yeah.
Navy SEAL.
Navy SEAL. But yeah, he's just the cook. Yeah. Okay. No big deal. Yeah. So basically we have a Navy SEAL versus a Green Beret. So that's interesting. I forgot he was a SEAL, honestly. So we have an ex-Navy SEAL who's like definitely put on weight since his glory days.
That's putting it nicely.
But still, he's like got all this like crazy, weird martial arts training that he dishes out against everybody. And he's so good that they cannot hit him at all. Which is one thing that pisses me off so much about that movie. I've never really been a Seagal fan, like at all. But especially in that movie, his fight with Tommy Lee Jones, like that's the main bad guy. This is the Hans Gruber moment. Mm-hmm. And they like tussle for like a couple of seconds. They talk mostly. have like a couple of one-liners back and forth. They tussle for like 3 seconds, and then he like stabs him in the head. Like literally the top of the skull with a knife, and then like throws him into like a TV or a microwave or something. It's like, really? That was your big moment? It's Tommy Lee Jones. Like, I granted he wasn't like a huge star yet, but still, I don't know. It just annoyed me. It's like, really? That was your fight? He didn't do anything. It was like a big culmination of nothing. I thought it was annoying. But anyway, so that's our setup here.
Honestly, I think, nobody can land a punch on him, but Rambo, he'd be like, yeah, land this. And he just shoot his like exploding arrow at him.
Yeah. It's hard to dodge those with a little like kung fu action.
Yeah.
I
don't know. I
guess it depends what kind of match. Is this a wrestling match or is this a in the jungle? Like it's like half jungle, half warship somehow.
Well, it could be some sort of like weird hybrid gauntlet match where it starts on the boat or ends in the jungle or vice versa.
That'd be a good one.
Because I think either way, Rambo's gonna have the advantage because Rambo's fought people on a boat before.
That's true. They're both imprisoned at one point in their movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryback's like imprisoned in a fridge or something, or like the deep freezer or something. And yeah, obviously Rambo gets caught toward the end of the movie. That he's on his little microphone. Murdoch. I'm coming to get you. Anyway, yeah, so I don't know. It kind of depends. Are there weapons involved? I'm the one setting up the match, but I'm asking you. How do we want to play it? I think you kind of have to. It's Rambo.
Let's give each guy one weapon.
Or maybe like melee weapons, which would be like hand to hand, like handheld weapons.
I'm saying
not firearms.
No firearms. We give Rambo his exploding arrow.
That's not a firearm.
Well, I guess it is. I'm thinking more of a gun, but
yeah.
Okay,
I would say like
Rambo's knife.
Rambo gets like his big
Rambo gets his knife.
Yeah.
Ryback gets
his fists. Ryback gets like a meat cleaver or something because he's a cook. I can't remember what kind of weapons he uses in the movie. I don't know that he really uses weapons all that much. I think he uses them, but like usually it's like to trip a guy, and then he like breaks his neck. He
absolutely
or something.
Has weapons. He has lightning and thunder.
Yeah, he's got those military grade punching arms. I think that probably would be the best weapon to give him. Would be like a meat cleaver or something like that, like a big what do you call this? Like a big like fillet knife or something.
Yeah.
So then you got fillet knife versus like Rambo's big buck knife.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's hard to take Rambo down. I mean, he's impervious. He's been shot a couple of times. Usually he doesn't get hit by anything. Ryback, no one's ever landed a punch on him, so I don't know. But usually people don't come at him with knives. Actually, Tommy Lee Jones did. He takes his knife away from him and stabs him with it.
And it's a far cry from Tommy Lee Jones and fucking Rambo.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe nobody's landed a punch against him, but
Rambo. He's never come across Rambo.
He's also faced like average Joe looking dudes.
Yeah, Rambo took down like the entire Washington National Guard on his own.
He takes them down.
And
he takes down
the local sheriff department.
He took down the Vietnam Army, basically.
Basically, all of Vietnam. Yeah.
He takes down the entire Burmese army.
Yeah. Where is he? He's in Afghanistan in the third one, right?
Yeah, but he takes down the whole Russian army.
It's Russian army, yeah. Yeah.
He literally ended communism in all those countries.
Do all Green Berets know how to fly helicopters? Because he flies a helicopter in that movie inexplicably. And what word did I just say? Inexplicably is what I was trying to say. I think it came out weird.
It's okay.
Anyway.
That's the theme. That should have been the theme.
Yeah.
For tonight's
just
episode.
like mispronounced words.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think I'm with you. Also, Steven Seagal kind of sucks. Don't come at me, Seagal. The Seagal heads, the seagulls out there. Is that what Seagal fans call themselves? Seagulls?
Sea heads.
the sea gals.
We call ourselves the Gulls.
Anywho, yeah, I'm with you. I think Rambo takes it.
I don't think it's even that close, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a tough match. It's definitely a back and forther.
I guess, but
I think Rambo
yeah.
just, he doesn't feel pain. He cauterizes his own wound with gunpowder. I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, totally safe. Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
definitely sanitary.
Yeah, totally. I'm sure it never got infected or anything.
Yeah.
But
He gets shot with like an arrow, doesn't he? And he yanks it out.
Yeah.
Is that the same movie?
yeah,
That's the
Yeah.
one though. He gets shot with an arrow.
yeah. Because
then
he breaks it off.
He breaks it off and then pulls it through and then cauterizes it with gunpowder.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a guy.
But he kind of hardly screams.
Yeah, it's like a Rambo scream.
I would want to kill myself if I did that.
Yeah.
I would be like, I'm not doing that. I'll just bleed out.
He does take down like a Mexican cartel too. It's like a sex trafficking ring or something.
It's a cartel, yeah.
Is it? Yeah, I can remember if it was drugs or just
I
like
thought we
a
agreed
group of people.
to never talk about that movie in
Yeah,
the
that's
same vein
true.
as
It
Rambo.
doesn't.
It's
not part of the canon in my head.
No.
All right, we're in agreement. It's Rambo.
I think Rambo takes it.
Yeah,
And I know that's our bias talking, but I don't give a fuck.
yeah. At this point, yeah.
No.
Rambo.
Ding, ding.
All right, that's the show. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we love mispronouncing words. And you can pay that love forward by sharing this podcast with friends, family, military fans, ex-military. No, they'd
Let's go military.
They'd probably be really mad at us for this episode. But that's like half our family, so that's cool. But that's really the best way to help us out, through word of mouth. And you can find us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. So don't forget to subscribe on those platforms so you never miss a new episode. You can give us a rating and leave us a review. That really helps us get seen out there. Like us on Facebook and follow us at CCWisepod on Instagram, Threads, TikTok. The old Twix talk.
Right on cue.
TikTok and Twitter. You can follow me on just about everything at Tyler_W. Where can everyone find you out there?
You can find me on Twitter at BWise23. I'm on Instagram at NotFakeBW.
Not TwikTok.
I'm also on TikTok at NotTheFakeBrandonWise. So join us in a couple weeks and we'll have a brand new episode of Counterclockwise for you.
And Bray Stolden. God damn it. I feel like right when we start, I always
It's every
get
time.
this globule of phlegm right here. Okay, whatever. I'll get used to it. All right. There's that phlegm coming back. It's attacking me.
I think you've also rubbed off on me. I don't ever get phlegmy until we record because it's like
you're catching the phlegm.
yeah.
Excuse me again. Okay.